The United States faces a familiar foe, the looming threat of a government shutdown. This political impasse carries the potential to disrupt vital services and impact millions of Americans. From national parks to essential services, the consequences would be far-reaching. The current situation is particularly fraught as it unfolds against a backdrop of deep political polarization and economic uncertainty. A government shutdown would exacerbate these challenges, injecting further instability into an already fragile environment. The potential consequences extend beyond immediate disruptions. A prolonged shutdown could have a ripple effect throughout the economy, impacting consumer confidence and delaying critical infrastructure projects. The last major shutdown, which occurred in December 2018 and stretched into January 2019, cost the U.S. economy an estimated $11 billion. Lawmakers face a critical choice: bridge their divides and find a compromise, or risk plunging the nation into another self-inflicted crisis. In a surprising turn of events, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has signaled his willingness to support a Republican-backed funding bill to avert a government shutdown. This unexpected decision marks a significant departure from Schumer's previous stance and reflects the high-stakes nature of the negotiations. Some within the Democratic Party have voiced their disapproval, arguing that it concedes too much ground to Republicans. Despite these criticisms, Schumer has defended his decision as a necessary evil, a difficult choice made in the best interest of the country. He has framed the vote as a Hobson's choice, arguing that a government shutdown would have far more dire consequences than any concessions made in the short term. Schumer's strategic gamble underscores the delicate balance of power in the Senate, where the minority party retains significant influence, particularly on budgetary matters. His decision highlights the complexities of legislative maneuvering and the difficult choices faced by lawmakers in a highly polarized political climate. The clock is ticking down to a critical deadline, with the threat of a government shutdown looming large if a funding bill is not passed by midnight on Friday. This looming deadline has injected a sense of urgency into the negotiations, with lawmakers scrambling to find common ground. If a funding agreement is not reached, non-essential government services will be suspended, impacting millions of Americans. Federal employees deemed non-essential will be furloughed, while essential services such as law enforcement and national security will continue to operate with a skeletal staff. The immediate impact of a shutdown would be widespread, affecting everything from national parks and museums to passport processing and loan applications. Beyond these immediate disruptions, a prolonged shutdown could have a ripple effect throughout the economy, shaking consumer confidence and delaying critical infrastructure projects. Section 4. Democratic discord, internal divisions over the funding bill. The proposed funding bill has exposed deep fissures within the Democratic Party, highlighting the challenges of maintaining unity in a caucus with diverse viewpoints and priorities. While some Democrats have reluctantly accepted the bill as a necessary compromise, others have voiced strong opposition, arguing that it undermines core Democratic values. Progressive Democrats, led by Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, have expressed outrage over the bill's provisions, particularly its increased military spending and cuts to social programs. Ocasio-Cortez has accused Democratic leadership of caving to Republican demands and betraying the party's commitment to social justice and economic equality. Senator Elizabeth Warren has also voiced her opposition, criticizing the bill's potential impact on working families and its failure to address income inequality. These internal divisions within the Democratic Party reflect the broader ideological spectrum within the party, ranging from progressive firebrands to more moderate centrists. Section 5. Navigating the Senate, the battle for votes and compromise. The fate of the funding bill now rests with the Senate, where a delicate dance of procedural maneuvers and political calculations will determine whether the government can avert a shutdown. With the chamber evenly divided between Democrats and Republicans, securing the necessary votes for passage will require a delicate balancing act of compromise and persuasion. The Senate's rules and procedures add a layer of complexity to the process. Unlike the House of Representatives, where a simple majority is sufficient to pass most legislation, the Senate often requires a 60-vote supermajority to overcome procedural hurdles. This higher threshold necessitates bipartisan cooperation, as neither party can unilaterally dictate the legislative agenda. Schumer and his Republican counterpart, Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, will play pivotal roles in rallying their respective caucuses and seeking common ground. The outcome of this legislative battle will have significant implications, not only for the immediate issue of funding the government, but also for the broader political landscape. Section 6. High stakes, political fallout, and the fate of government programs. The looming government shutdown carries significant political risks for both parties, with each side acutely aware of the potential fallout and its impact on public perception. The stakes are particularly high for Democrats who control the White House and both chambers of Congress. Republicans, sensing an opportunity to exploit the situation to their advantage, have signaled their willingness to allow a shutdown to occur, betting that Democrats will be blamed for the resulting disruptions. They argue that the shutdown is a necessary step to force Democrats to the negotiating table and extract concessions on key Republican priorities. Democrats fear that a shutdown will be perceived by voters as a sign of incompetence and dysfunction, potentially costing them control of Congress. Beyond the immediate political ramifications, the shutdown also has far-reaching consequences for the fate of government programs and the millions of Americans who rely on them. Section 7. Musk's influence. The tech mogul's push for fiscal restraint. Adding another layer of complexity to the already fraught situation is the outspoken voice of tech mogul Elon Musk, who has emerged as a vocal advocate for reduced federal spending and a smaller role for government. Musk's influence, amplified by his massive social media following and his status as a self-made billionaire, has injected a new dimension into the debate over the government's role and responsibilities. Musk has argued that a government shutdown, while disruptive in the short term, could serve as a necessary wake-up call, forcing lawmakers to confront what he sees as bloated budgets and wasteful spending. He has proposed using shutdowns as an opportunity to identify and eliminate non-essential government functions. Musk's views, while controversial, have resonated with some segments of the population, particularly those who share his concerns about government overreach and fiscal irresponsibility. His pronouncements have also emboldened some conservative lawmakers who see an opportunity to advance their long-standing goals of shrinking the size and scope of government.